with his presence, but at the same time, his warm sense of humor brightens our days. A natural leader in and out of the classroom, he approaches any task with stalwart determination, operating under the presumption that anything worth doing is worth doing well. And rest assured that he will not let you down in your search for the truth. Candor, honesty, and integrity are the benchmarks for which he strives day in and day out. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Kingsridge Salutatorian of 2014, Mr. Cullen.
Hi. I have to admit, I'm really not that excited about the whole salutatorian thing. First, because I don't really enjoy giving speeches, and second, because I've never really cared about my grades. When Mr. Pesci told me I'd earned the salutatorian honor, let's just say I was less than thrilled. Way less than thrilled. I knew about making a speech, and I wasn't really interested in that. I wondered if anyone had ever passed on the opportunity, and if not, maybe this was an opportunity for me to be a trailblazer and opt out. I knew, though, that my parents would object to the whole opting out idea. So I decided not to tell them I had earned the honor. Unfortunately, as I was contemplating how to opt out, Mr. Pesci sent my parents an email notifying them of my achievement. So opting out was no longer an option, and I had to come up with a plan B. It's not so much that I don't like giving speeches. It's more that I don't like writing speeches. Writing a speech requires time, effort, thought, and means more work and less play for me. As anyone who knows me well knows I prefer the less work, more play lifestyle. It seems odd to me that my reward for all the work I did to achieve the salutatorian is more work. So I had an idea. My mom is a great writer. She's funny, smart, she once went to middle school. Maybe she'd write my speech for me. I waited for the right moment to ask her, which by the way is when she's about halfway through a Starbucks drink. And I heard her got right to the point and said, "Mom, I really don't want to write a speech. Would you do it for me?" And much to my surprise, she said, "Sure." But here's the kicker. She said she'd happily write my speech for $500. Well, that was the end of that plan. Nothing is worth $500 to me. Not even my mom's speech. You might disagree, and if I'm ever given the honor of making another speech, you might all want to take up a collection so I can deliver my mom's speech. I'm sure it would be worth the $500 to you, but I just couldn't afford it. So, as you can tell, my parents have a unique way of motivating their children. Money being one of their motivational tools, I was now motivated to write my speech myself. I mentioned earlier that I never really cared about my grades. Well, that's not entirely true. Mostly my parents never really cared about my grades. In fact, I never even saw a report card until middle school. My parents never showed them to us and never really discussed them with us. They just discussed our effort. They always said the grade didn't matter, but the effort you put into it did. This probably sounds great to most of you. Parents who don't care about grades or report cards. How awesome, right? Well, not for me. I got great grades with very little effort. I was blessed with a mind that loves to learn, learns quickly, and remembers everything. So, I had an incredible report card, but parents who weren't impressed with it because it came so easily for me with very little effort. Throughout middle school, while my sisters were doing homework, I'd be watching The Office, playing video games, shooting hoops, or hitting golf and tennis balls, while they'd watch me through the window with resentment, I think. But I think I'm finally understanding why my parents weren't impressed with my stellar report card. And it took this salutatorian honor to make me understand. You see, it isn't just my parents who aren't impressed with this honor I achieved. I myself am not impressed or proud. So I got to thinking, what have I done in my 14 years that makes me most proud? And the answer was simple. I am most proud of the things I achieved because of really hard work, perseverance, and despite the odds being against me. I'll give you my proudest example. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. It's not something I talk about a lot because I don't want it to define me or limit me in any way. But the truth is, it's a pretty difficult disease for me to live with. The disease causes my body to treat food like it's an enemy. This means my body doesn't absorb all the nutrients it needs to survive. After a year or so on medicine with not a lot of success, my doctor recommended I try a diet that helps a lot of people with Crohn's. It sounded great until I learned that I would have to eliminate almost every food I'd ever eaten from my diet. No more gluten, wheat, or sugar. That meant no cereal for breakfast, no sandwiches for lunch, no chips, no candy, no cupcakes, no pizza or french fries. I was devastated and thought there was no way I could do that. What would I eat? And I didn't want to be that freaky kid who couldn't eat anything that my middle school classmates would laugh about for years to come. But I didn't have a lot of options, and I felt like I had to give it a try. So, to make a very long story shorter, with help and support of my family, I've now been on this diet for 2 years, and I am proud to say my Crohn's is in remission. It's not gone. I will live with this disease forever, but I've conquered it for now. And I tell you this not for sympathy or dramatic effect, but I share this with you today to make the point that it's the things we have to fight for and battle with that make us most proud and give us a sense of accomplishment. It's not the things that come easy. The things that come easy are blessings, but the things that come hard are what make our character. And I guess that's the message I want to convey today. We are blessed with so many things. I've been here at KR since kindergarten, and I know so many of you really well. And I know your blessings. I know some of you are blessed with amazing athletic ability, some with great voices. Some of you are great dancers and artists. Some are blessed with the ability to make us laugh. Then there are those who are naturally smart, and that's certainly a blessing too. What I have come to learn is it's not our blessings that make us remarkable. It's the things we do that no one expects us to be good at. It's the things we fight for despite the odds being against us. That's what makes us remarkable. And I know you all well enough to know you want to be remarkable. So keep fighting, keep pursuing your goals, even if they're not what you're naturally good at. Achieving something you never thought you could is a really proud moment. Trust me on this.